What's up? Welcome to Models and Agents for Beginners, episode 11 for March 27th, 2026. Today's AI news is pretty exciting and I promise, no jargon. Let's go. Okay, imagine this. You open your laptop and suddenly see secret details about a brand new, super smart AI that wasn't supposed to be public yet. That's exactly what happened this week with Anthropic. They had a security mistake that accidentally let people see information about their newest and most powerful model. Instead of staying quiet, the company confirmed the leak and called it a step change in how well models can reason and solve problems. Think of a normal AI like a very fast student who memorized a lot of textbooks. It can answer questions, but sometimes gets stuck on hard puzzles. This new model is more like a student who learned how to think through problems step by step. It breaks big questions into smaller ones and checks its own work. The step change they describe means it's noticeably better at logical thinking than previous versions. Not just a small upgrade, but a real leap forward. This matters because better reasoning turns fun chatbots into tools that can actually help with school projects, science homework, or creative brainstorming. Imagine an AI that doesn't just give you an answer but explains why it thinks that way and catches its own mistakes. That's the direction this points toward. For students and curious teens, it could mean AI tutors that feel more trustworthy and helpful instead of sometimes making things up. You can try something similar right now for free. Go to the Claude website and test its reasoning yourself. Pick a tricky problem like planning a school event for 200 people on a $500 budget while making sure everyone has fun. Ask it to think step by step and explain its choices. Notice how it reasons. That gives you a taste of what these improvements feel like. All right, now for my favorite part of the show. Let's do a proper deep dive into what reasoning actually means in AI. You know how when you're solving a tough math word problem, you don't guess the answer? You read it carefully, break it into smaller steps, try a plan, check if it makes sense, and adjust if you made a mistake. That whole thinking process is reasoning. Modern AI language models started mostly like super-fast autocomplete. They learned to predict the next word in a sentence by looking at billions of examples from the internet. That made them great at writing essays or answering simple questions. But they sometimes jumped to wrong conclusions because they weren't actually thinking. They were just guessing what words should come next, like a very clever parrot repeating patterns. The big improvement happening now is teaching models to do something closer to what your brain does with hard problems. Instead of answering instantly, the newest systems are trained to think out loud in hidden steps. They consider different possibilities and evaluate their own answers before giving you the final response. It's like giving the AI scratch paper and time to work through the problem instead of forcing it to shout an answer immediately. So next time you hear someone say an AI has better reasoning, you can tell them it's basically like upgrading from an autocomplete that guesses the next word to a study buddy that shows its work and double checks itself. Not magic, just a smarter way of using the same core idea of predicting what comes next, but applied to thoughts instead of only words. And that's basically how reasoning works in these new models. Not so scary, right? Okay, let's move on to some cool stuff you can actually try today. First up, Google just released something called Gemini 1.5 Flash Live. It's a model built especially for natural conversations using voice, video, and even tools. Low latency just means it responds with almost no delay, like a real conversation instead of waiting for a slow robot. It can understand what it sees on camera and use other tools while talking. This is exciting because it makes talking to AI feel way more human. Instead of typing, you could someday chat naturally while showing your homework or describing a problem with a video. For creative hobbies or school, it opens up new ways to brainstorm or get instant help. You can try a preview if you have access to Google AI Studio. Look for the Gemini Live section and experiment with voice mode if it's available in your region. Start by asking it a question while describing something you see. Notice how quickly it responds compared to older voice tools. Here's another cool update that makes switching between AI tools much easier. Google added a new feature to its Gemini chatbot that lets you bring your old conversations and personal info from other AI apps. It can ask another chatbot to summarize what it knows about you, like your writing style or favorite topics. Then it uses that to give you more personalized answers. You can also import entire chat histories so nothing gets lost when you switch. This matters because your past chats help AI give better, more useful responses. Moving between different AIs used to mean starting over. Now it's smoother, like transferring your game save from one console to another. Try it yourself at the Gemini website. Look for the new import options and settings. Ask Gemini to create a summary prompt you can copy to another AI like ChatGPT. Then paste the result back and see how much more personal its answers feel afterward. Both free and paid accounts can use this. Time for a few quick bits to round out the week. Apple is planning to let users pick their favorite AI, like Gemini or Claude, to power Siri's answers in a future update. This means your phone's assistant could get way smarter by borrowing brains from different companies. It's like choosing which friend gives you advice instead of always asking the same one. English Wikipedia now official. ElevenLabs using AI to write or rewrite articles. They say it often breaks their accuracy rules. They still allow it for polishing your own writing or translating as long as a human checks everything carefully. And finally, OpenAI decided not to release a planned adult mode chatbot. They dropped the idea after concerns from staff and investors about safety. They worried people might get too attached to AI companions. And that's a wrap. If any of today's stories made you go, huh, that's cool, go play with it. Curiosity is how every expert started. See you tomorrow. This podcast is curated by Patrick, but generated using AI voice synthesis of my voice using ElevenLabs. The primary reason to do this is I unfortunately don't have the time to be consistent with generating all the content and wanted to focus on creating consistent and regular episodes for all the themes that I enjoy, and I hope others do as well.